Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Global Happiness Today YouTube channel. Many months ago, some few
Global
weeks back,
happenings today.
when Peter Obi
We
started his whole
communicate,
issue of campaigning
we
and going for
analyze
presidency,
global
many
news.
Nigerians or
Stay
many
tuned.
opposition parties believe that it's just a normal noise making. There's no structure anywhere. And fast forward during the elections, they realized that it may be structureless in their eyes, but Nigerians have taken full turn in making that new Nigeria very possible through Peter Obi. And after that period, it became glaring that truly there was a movement called the Obedient Movement, and it is not factored from Labour Party. It was just Nigerians, youth, generally Nigerians that are tired of impunity, corruption, and they want to change the status quo. Fast forward after the elections, they believe some clerics like Pastor Giwa was of the opinion that the Lord told him was just a social media president. He will not emerge more than a social media president. And of course, some other prominent men have been speaking and saying that no matter what, he cannot emerge as a president. Fast forward some few days back, Wole Soyinka, one of our finest professor who represent not just Nigeria but Nigerians internationally, did mention the fact that the obedient movement, that when he warned them, they all thought that it was just about being a fascist and all. That is now glaring that just maybe the obedience were fascist after all. But to make matters interesting, the same Professor Wole Soyinka is beginning to speak, and this time around is giving signs and symptoms that I feel that while many Nigerians, politicians of repute, should really listen to him. As the PEPT court is going on, talking about the appeal court with the sitting of Presidential Election Petition Tribunal going on in Abuja, and is giving a silent warning over that matter. But before going to the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button. Beside it, you'll see a bell notification icon. Please go ahead, click on it to get notified as soon as we update our channel on YouTube. Wole Soyinka, a Nigerian professor and a writer, has revealed that there is possibility of a revolution if there are no clarification in the presidential election petitions. Recall that Wole Soyinka had gone on air to caution the words of vice presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, during his interview with Channels Television, where he stated that there will be a revolution against President Bola Tinubu's inauguration, but it didn't happen. Wole Soyinka, reacting to the tribunal proceedings, alleged that the revolution will be based on the struggle for power among different presidential candidates who believes they won the presidential election, and due to the unwillingness of the different presidential candidates to surrender, there is a possibility of a revolution. He said, and I quote, "In any case, there is not much else to engage one on a foundation of ownership stakes. There is, of course, always the possibility of a revolution with a clarity of purpose and acceptance of all attendant risks, including costly errors. Revolutions are not, however, based on the impetus of speculative power entitlement. No matter, until that moment, the structures that ensure just and equitable cohabitation must be protected from partisan appropriation, be it from material inducement, fake news, or verbal terrorism, the last being the contribution of one who is positioned to." Now, okay, but now let's continue. Let's just give full details. Probably for some who do not understand what it means, let's give full details. Of course, many Nigerians have been reacting, but let's look at full details, word for word, what he said. He said, "In any case, there is not much else to engage else one foundation of ownership stakes. This is, of course, always the possibility of revolution with a clarity of purpose and acceptance of attendant risks, including costly errors. Revolutions are not, however, based on the impetus of speculative power entitlement. No matter to that moment, the structure that ensures just and equitable cohabitation must be protected from partisan appropriation, be it from material inducement, fake news, or verbal terrorism, the last being the contribution of one who is positioned to assume co-leadership of the nation, no less." Those were his exact words. Now, Professor Wole Soyinka's, I think that again, Professor Wole Soyinka's revolution has stirred a lot of reactions online from supporters of Labour Party, that's the presidential candidate Peter Obi, who agrees to his vision of a possible revolution if the outcome of the Labour Party's presidential election petition is not transparent. Nigerians have been reacting to this. Okay, but you've heard the word for word, what he said. Let's just feel what Nigerians are saying totally on this matter. Because the PEPT is still ongoing. I'm talking about the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal is still very much ongoing, and Nigerians are watching. Now, the PEPT will always give clarification whichever way their judgment goes. There will not be any revolution. Revolution is just wishful imagination of some Igbos, and that the revolution can only be in Enugu or Onitsha, and any attempt to repeat what they did during NSAS in Yoruba land will not go well. Okay, but this is some person's opinion on social media. Another person has said Wole Soyinka is an old man, and just maybe he's having a rethink. Okay, another person says just big grammar. This person here says just big grammar. The man is not a patriot. He finds it very hard to say the truth very clearly, even when he knows it rather refers marathon rhetorics. Another opinion of a personal opinion of another person entirely. Another person here says the Presidential Election Tribunal has every right to ignite or abort confusion. What the judges always say is evidence before me and not otherwise. INEC told us that they will deploy electronic device to conduct the last elections, and every assistance needed from government was made available to them. They have no reason to reject what they gave us, and the judges must either save this country or set it ablaze. Justice must be done, and this will pave way for the future elections in Nigeria. Another person here says, this has always been my take. It is either they do the right thing to save democracy in Nigeria, or they do the wrong thing and democracy is dead. The final verdict will determine whether there will be participatory democracy or politicians will engage in survival of the fittest among themselves. Honestly, this last person who spoke just spoke the truth without garnishing it. That's the truth. In fact, when my colleague and I keep discussing offline, it bothers us a lot, because the truth be told, and I'm sure it bothers most Nigerians who have not been willing to speak, they're just now quiet over a lot of things. The truth be told, everything we believe on right now is on the judiciary right now. Now, it's not just about Bola Ahmed Tinubu or Peter Obi or even Atiku Abubakar or Kongwaso or even Moyele Sowore and as many Nigerians that contested for the presidential election. It's the process now. If the process is not corrected, and the way and manner with which our corrupt politicians run politics in Nigeria, this is going to be a norm. And if it becomes a norm, then I can assure you the finest hands will never participate in Nigerian politics. We only get to see talks of different magnitude, different dimensions, and it's going to be survival of the fittest, just as this young man has said on his social media platform. That's going to wrap it up. Let's visit that comment section.